Solemnity of the Immaculate Conception, December 8, 2025. My dear brothers and sisters, today we celebrate a feast that reminds us not only of who Mary is, but also of who we are called to be in God's plan. The Immaculate Conception is one of the Church's most beautiful teachings, because it shows us how far God is willing to go to prepare a heart for the saving work. In 1854, Pope Pius IX declared the dogma of the Immaculate Conception. He thought that from the very first moment of her existence, Mary was preserved from original sin, not by her own effort, but by a special grace of God given in view of the mission she would receive as the mother of Jesus. And just a few years later, in 1858, Our Lady herself appeared to Saint Benedict at Lourdes and confirmed these truths with those unforgettable words: I am the Immaculate Conception. The first reading today takes us back to the beginning, to that moment when sin first entered the world through Adam and Eve. Yet even there, God gave a promise that one day someone would come to undo the damage. The words we heard, I will put enmity between you and the woman, foreshadows Mary, who is faithful, who will not the disobedience of Adam and Eve. Where Eve said no, Mary said yes. Mary was part of our human family, just like us. She lived in the same world, felt the same emotion, and carried the same human limitations. But for the sake of the mission entrusted to her, to carry God's Son into the world, God poured out a unique grace upon her. Right from the conception, she was prepared, protected, and strengthened so that she could say her wholehearted yes. And it is that yes, let it be done to me according to your word, that changed everything. God's Son took flesh in her womb because Mary was open to God's plan. She trusted God even when she didn't fully understand. She believed God's love for her was greater than any fear or uncertainty. That simple, courageous yes became the doorway through which salvation entered the world. We honor Mary best not only by praising her, but by imitating her. Her life shines with faith, hope, love, humility, and joy. She teaches us the holiness begins by saying yes to God in the ordinary of our life, daily lives, in our families, in our churches, in our struggles, and in the services to others. And here is the beautiful truth for us today. What God did in Mary in a special way, He begins in each of us through a baptism. At our baptism, God washed us clean from sin and called us to holiness. We too, who are given grace for the missions entrusted to us, we too are invited to allow Christ to grow within us and to bring Him into the world. Mary shared her Son with humanity. She did not keep Him from herself, and that is our calling as well, to share Christ with one another, We do this through acts of love, mercy, forgiveness, and compassion. Whenever we witness to our faith through our words and actions, we became bearers of Christ, just as Mary was. At the foot of the cross, Mary expressed deep sorrow, yet the Church tells us that in that moment, she did not lose Jesus. Instead, her motherhood expanded. She became mother of all God's children, and today she continues to accompany us, intercede for us, and guide us. On this feast day of the Immaculate Conception, let us turn to Mary and ask her to teach us how to say our own yes, to trust God more deeply, to open our hearts to His grace, and to allow Christ to shine through our lives. Mary, conceived without sin, pray for us who have a recourse to you. Have a beautiful day.